Hey everyone, instructional video here, a little tutorial on some JavaScript, and kind of what we're going to cover in here in this video here is some functional looping. Some functional loops are some other methods that we can use besides using a for loop. The three things I will cover today is a for each, a filter, and a map. Okay, so a for each method here, the kind of definition of that is a for each is a functional way functional way of iterating through an array without using a for loop. Okay, and that's kind of the definition. Now it's going to make more sense here when I explain this here out. I have already created an array here. I have named it movie patrons. That way I'm not taking time typing this out. But so as far as our movie patrons, people that want to go see a movie, we have an array of objects here. Okay, and so for each one here, we have a key value here for the object here with a name, and his name's Tom, and then age is 16, and so on and so forth for all the movie patrons with their name and age. And so for each here, we'll take this array of objects here, and we're going to do a for each right there. And for each movie patron, we are going to have a patron. It's basically like we're mapping or going through the entire thing here, a patron, and we're going to console log out each patron.age. Okay, and this here is kind of what a for each will do. It's going to go over this entire array of objects here, and for each one in there, let's console log out the patron.age. So we'll do here node index.js, and we get each age for inside this array. We could do the same thing for the patron.name. And we'll do the same thing here, and we get each name. That's kind of what a for each is going to do for you at its basic level. Now to get a little more complex with it, we can use a filter. So let's say with each movie patron, we want to find out whether or not they can watch R-rated movies. So let's make a const here. Let's say const can watch rated R equals, we'll do movie patrons, and we'll do a filter across this movie patrons. We're going to call this function here, and we're going to pass in for each patron here. Okay, so inside this filter here, we need to now return, if each patron age is greater than 17. That's the requirement to get in R-rated movies. Okay, so we have a const can watch rated R movies. We're going to filter through this entire array here, and for each patron in there, we're going to return only the patrons that are greater than 17 years of age. Outside of this now, we can do a console log here, and we're going to console log the const that we created up top, just like that. Okay, now we should be returning a brand new array here with only people that are of age. So we're filtering through this entire thing, and we're going to return back essentially what is a truthy value here. What we're asking here is a truthy value. It will not return anything with a falsy value. Okay, and the definition for that is a filter returns a new array containing only elements whose callback returns a truthy value. Kind of what a filter does there. Okay, so lastly, let's say we want to use a map method, okay? A map method is going to return a brand new array. This array is going to be the same length as the very first one at the very top on line 4 that we have. And each element that we pass into the callback, whatever is returned from that callback, at each iteration is what goes into the index of the new array. Let me give you an example here and kind of show you what we're talking about. Okay, so we have carded movie patrons, and we're going to set that equal to a movie patrons.map. Okay, and we're going to map over for each patron here. Put a fat arrow there. Okay, and now we're going to say we're going to create a new object. We're going to copy the object that's being iterated over here. So we're going to create a const here, and we're going to say new object, okay, equals each patron there. So what we're doing here is we're creating a new object. We're copying basically that entire array up there, And now we're going to do an if statement off of this. Okay, so now we're saying if this object's.age is greater than or equal to 17, okay, then we're saying inside this object can watch rated R is equal to true. Okay, now we're saying else, we're going to say can watch rated R is equal to false. And then we want to return our const that's on line 26 there. Okay, so let me give you a little explanation here what we're doing here. We're going to console log out. Let's just say we want console log out all movie patrons. That way I can kind of show you what we're doing here. So we're going to console log first our array up top on line 4, and then we're going to console log out. Let me type this here. Okay, so now we're saying here, we're setting this const carded movie patrons. We're going to map over this entire array here. When we map it for each one here, we're going to set this equal to a new value. And we're saying if, for each person in there, if their age is greater than 17, we're now creating a new index here, can watch rated R equal to true. Otherwise, we're going to say if they're not greater than 17 or equal to 17, can watch rated R is equal to false. And then we're going to return that entire brand new array that we created. Okay, so now we're going to console log out the first array here with our standard values, and then we'll console log out the new set here, as you will see. Okay, so here is our movie patrons. This is our line 35. This is everyone that we have in there. And now here's our carded movie patrons. And we're saying for each one here, Tom, he's age 16. Can he watch rated R? False. Ashley, 31, can watch rated R is true. And so on and so forth. So we just created a brand new array of objects there. It's the same length as the first, and we're creating a new index here with a can watch rated R, and we're giving a true false value. That way, if you want to create this and be able to give values for each one, we can use a map. If we only want to return a truthy value, we can use a filter. Okay, and then if we want to use a forEach, obviously we're going to go through and decide what we want to pull out of this array, what kind of value we want to return here for that forEach. And that to me here is our functional loops. That's it as basic level and kind of how those things operate. If you have any questions, any comments, any criticism, I would love for you to comment. Please subscribe and like this video. I hope it helped you guys out. I am a certified full stack developer. I'm still obviously learning and doing the best I can to keep getting better, because you can always keep learning in this industry. But I'm going to keep bringing videos out, so subscribe and like. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.